Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of BlueSync. You guys hear me okay and see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. See some head shakes. Perfect. Alrighty, so today, as Carrie said in her email, we are going to be going over landing pages and listings to leads. They have made a few changes, so the process looks a little bit different. It's still the same simple process and steps, but there's a couple different things that they've kind of changed and added in there. So I wanted to show that with you guys today. So to access listings to leads, there's a couple different ways you can get there. You can either go directly to listings2leads.com, or you can go through the MoxieWorks and go into your external links, which is what I'm going to show today. So I'm going to go ahead and click into my MoxieWorks square from CB Desk. And from here, I'm going to navigate over to the upper right-hand corner where my profile image is and click that drop down and go to where it says external links. We have our long list here of all of these different things that we have embedded within our Moxie site. I'm going to click on where it says listings to leads. And this is going to open up either directly into a specific login window or this main page here, which is going to be what you see if you do go to listings2leads.com. I'm just going to click this login button up towards the upper right-hand corner. And I have my login information saved. This is a Office admin account, but if you don't, obviously enter in your information there and then click login, which is going to open us up into our lovely dashboard. Now, like I said, today we're going to be covering the landing pages. So I'm going to navigate directly there. I'm going to go in this left-hand panel and click on where it says landing pages. From here, if you have any landing pages that you've already created, they will show up here in this dashboard. Otherwise, there might be some random ones that they kind of pop in as defaults, which is what I have here. To create a new landing page, you're going to click on this green Create Landing Page button up in the upper left-hand corner of that little screen. And when you do that, you're going to have to select the type of landing page you want to create. So landing pages can be used on social media or within a agent website or in an email. They can really be kind of plopped anywhere. So we are going to create today a property valuation page. So I'm going to click on the different type and then go into the first option here, the property valuation plus. Once you do select the type of page, we're going to go ahead and give it a name. Typically, you want to give this a name of maybe the area that the page is going to be focusing on. So for me, I'm going to type Traverse City because that is where I'm sitting in Traverse City, Michigan. And then from here, I'm going to click Create Landing Page. If you do name this something different, you'll have the ability to kind of edit that later. So it will pull whatever you name the page into the actual landing page itself, but you do have the ability to change that text once you're actually in the editor. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create Landing Page. A little slow. Okay, so this is where it might look a little bit different if you haven't been in listings to leads for a while. So typically after you hit that create landing page, it will open you directly up into the editor where you can start making changes. Now it takes you to this kind of step screen here. And we're going to go over more things on this page in a moment, but for right now, I'm just going to open it up where we can actually make some edits to our landing page. So you can either do that by clicking the Open Editor button down here at the bottom of the graphic, or by clicking it up here towards the top of that little window as well. And once you do click into it, this is where it should start looking familiar. If you've ever been in here before, this is kind of the same basic editing screen that they've always had for their landing pages. So this is where we can start to do some customization, which we always love to do some customizing, make it a little bit more personal to us. So the first thing here that you can change is this background image. So it's always going to pull in kind of this blah image here. And of course, we want it to be a little bit more catching to the eye. So I'm going to click here in this little box to change that image out and put in a different one. Now, any listings that you do have will pop up in here, and you could use a picture from a listing if you had one, or they have some lovely stock images. I'm going to navigate to those on this left-hand panel. And they have so many to choose from. You obviously want to pick one that is, similar to kind of the area that you are making this for. So for example, some of these have like palm trees in them. I would not select the palm tree image for my Northern Michigan landing page. So you just kind of want to select something that's going to reflect, the page that you're creating, the area, and make sure that you are kind of aware of what image you're selecting there. So I'm just going to click this one. It's an interior picture of a home. And once I click on it, I'm going to hit the green insert button on the bottom left-hand corner. Now you can see it kind of changed our image there. Looks a lot better, a little bit more attention grabbing than before. Next, I'm going to navigate down to this next little area where it says social media share image. From here, this is going to be the image that will show up if you do post this on Facebook or anything like that, Instagram. So there's a bunch of different options. There's different styles of how the kind of cover image will look. You can just choose whichever one you think looks the best to you. There's ones that include having the agent headshot on the bottom left corner. There's ones that are more simple, ones that have a cleaner look, more of a boxy look. There's tons of options. So pick whichever one you like. And once you do, make sure you hit save. And that's not going to be a change that we see reflected over here on this screen, but just know that if you do select a social media share image, when you do go to share that and post it on any social media, it will automatically change or put that image as your main header there when you post it. So now that we've done the social media share image, I'm going to drop down to where it says style and colors. And this is where you can change kind of the color, the themes for your whole landing page. So right now we have this red color, which is kind of the standard, like red or green is a lot of what Listings to Leads uses. But if you do see here in this kind of top little section, it says use global settings from profile. So in my profile and my account in Listings to Leads, I have it set up for our Coldwell Banker brand color scheme. So if I select that and turn that option on, it should automatically pull in those colors. Let me see, maybe I have to click preview here. Yes, there we go. So it didn't look like it changed anything, but once I switched that on, I did hit this preview button. And obviously this button changed then to more of our Coldwell Banker blue color versus the red, which doesn't really match our brand, obviously. So you do have the ability to change those. If you want to change them and make them different colors, you can do that as well. So you have the ability to change what color the button is, as well as the text on the button, and then also kind of the color of this gray box behind it. So there is some different edits that you can do there. Then next is going to be the lead form text. So I'm going to click on that drop down. And this is going to be where you can edit what is in these text boxes that show here on the image. So like I said, the name that you put in when you're creating the landing page is going to be what pulls in here. So it would say, what is your Traverse City home? Or if I put, Front Street home, I could put whatever I wanted there and it would pull over. But like I said, you do have the ability to change that over here in the left. So maybe I did want it to say Front Street, not Grant, and type Front Street home worth now. So maybe this is more targeted towards a downtown audience. I could change that text, change it there, you can see. And then I can also change what this little text here is right underneath that main headline. So recent home sales have affected your home's value. Get your home's new value instantly for free. You can change that if you want. And then of course the tagline is going to be instant and free. You have ability to change any of those things, which is very nice. And then the last thing that we can edit here on this page is going to be the form fields, and that's going to be the information that they actually put in. So a cool thing that Listings to Leads does have is the ability to turn on the Facebook registration. So what that means is if they see this page, for example, on your Facebook or maybe in an email or on your website, if they go ahead and enter in their property address and then they click on this Get Value Estimate, instead of on the next page entering in, their name, their email, any kind of contact information, it's going to ask them to sign into their Facebook, and then it will automatically pull that info from their profile, which will translate into the lead that we receive on our end. So this is something that you can toggle on or off depending on your preference. There isn't a right or wrong way. It's really just personal preference of how you want to gather that information. So you do have the ability to check that box on or off. And then of course, also change the text of what this button actually says as well. You do have the ability to change what is in this box here, which I think is pretty standard. Enter your property address. I don't know what else you would change it to, but you do have the ability to change it if you would like. Now, next, we're going to navigate to kind of the next page that is part of this landing page. So after they enter in their property address and they click on that button to get their home value, they have another page that will pop up. So up here towards the top where it says page 1 and there's a little drop down, I'm going to click on that. And this is another new thing that they've added in recently is there is now a pricing page. So I just clicked on that pricing page there. So instead of just directly going to the kind of ending page where they gather that lead information, there's also now this page that they added in that you can choose to have or not that kind of asks them if we did have a buyer for your home and you were looking to sell, what would be your ideal price that you would sell it for? Now, obviously, this isn't something that you have to, take to heart. We know that they like to guess all over the board when it comes to pricing their home, but it is kind of good, I think, to know when you are going into a lead what they have in mind and what their kind of realistic goal is. And that way, if you're going to have to talk them down or maybe you're going to be able to go up from the price that they guessed their home was worth. So this is a nice page. Like I said, we do have the ability to either show it or not by clicking this blue check mark down here where it says show pricing form before the page 2 form. And then of course, as well, you have the ability to edit any of this text that shows up on this little bubble as well. So lots of editing. And like I said, if you uncheck that button, then this will just default into the regular page 2, which is going to be where it gathers the person's information in order to make that a lead. So for now, I'm just going to keep it there. Now you can see after we have our pricing page, it's going to ask again for their lead information. So that's going to be their phone number, their name, their email, any information that you want to get from them. And you do have the ability to change what those fields are. Maybe I do have to uncheck that. Or no, I just had to navigate to page 2, sorry. So now that we are here, you can see since I did have the Facebook registration checked on that first page, when they do get to this last page, it's going to say get value estimate, and they're going to have to enter in their Facebook login information, and then it's going to pull in their name and their phone number, email, whatever they have associated with their Facebook account. Or it does always have this button right below that says, or use your email instead. So they're not forced to do the Facebook registration if they don't want to. You're going to get the information either way, which is great. A lot of people, are kind of weary about putting their Facebook information into places that they don't know, obviously, rightfully so. There's a lot of security things with that these days. But it is a good thing to know that they do have the ability to kind of choose to do that or not. Now, I just went back in and turned off the Facebook registration. So now you can see if you have that off, this is what that final page where they are entering in their information will look like. So They'll just have the ability to enter in whatever information they would like and then click View My Report. Now on the left-hand side, you do also have the ability to make any of these things required, optional, or hide them altogether. So maybe you want their name to be required in their email, or maybe you want their phone number instead of their email. You can change these to make them fit whatever your marketing preferences are. Or you can make them all optional if you want. It's totally up to you. Obviously, the goal of this would be to get leads. So we would probably want at least something to be required as far as the contact information. But again, totally up to you and how aggressive you want to be when this is being marketed. So once we have this page all edited the way that we want it to be, we are going to go ahead and hit save. Up at the very top of this kind of navigation panel to the left, there's a green save button. We're going to click that. That way we know that when we do go to use it, it's going to have all of the information that we just made and all the changes we did. And it's loading. Of course, it always chooses to load really slow when I'm on the call. Okay, so now you can see kind of our changes have been saved, our image has changed, our colors are the change. So now I'm going to go back to that original page that I said we would come back to. I'm going to click over into that editing tab again. You can see it's still open here to the left. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to show you guys just some different stuff that they've kind of added in that's more accessible now that they did add in this page. So when we're on our editing tab here, you can see this is kind of lit up for the edit screen. This is where we clicked into our editor to edit the landing page. They have a couple different options here. One of the ones that I think is kind of cool is this autoresponder. So this is something that once they do complete that property valuation page and they enter in their information, you can set up an email to automatically go out to people. And this is going to be, I don't know what the word is, kind of programmed to where it will automatically fill in their first name if they put it into the valuation page where you were gathering their information. So you can kind of build out an email that will have, kind of an automatic response to them. Hey, thanks for filling out this form. I'll be sure to get back with you. Or you can make it as in-depth or as simple as possible. But I do think that it is a nice way to kind of have an extra touch on that person as soon as they fill out the form. So you can turn that on or off by either selecting enable or disable. I'm going to keep it off for now since this is a office page. The other cool stuff is over here in the marketing tools tab. So if you do have a ad account set up through either Facebook or Instagram, then you do have the ability to post this valuation page as an advertisement on your business page. So again, whether this is a office page or a agent page that they're doing it on, they do have the ability to actually spend some ad money on this and push it out to gather those leads. So you can do that directly from here. It's pretty standard. You just kind of have to fill in some basic information, how much money you want to spend, what the range is going to be. It's going to save that social media share image that we set up when we were in the editor. But you do have the ability to edit any of this. So maybe I didn't like the way that this post was worded. I can hit this edit post button over here in the right-hand corner and change any of this text out. I can edit the image again if I really didn't like the one that I selected before. So you do have full ability to kind of make those changes and customize it to your preferences. Next is I'm going to show you guys the social media post section, which seems like it would be similar to the Facebook and Instagram ads, but it is different. So this is where you can also turn on auto posting for the landing page by just toggling this on. And then you would also select when you wanted it to auto post on. And again, same page that we kind of built out in the previous screen. So it's going to have that social media share image. You do have the ability to edit any of this text here, which is again, awesome. It's a really good way to kind of customize that so it's not so plain Jane that everyone is using. And then you can also do a post right away, or you can schedule the post for a specific time if you would like. The other thing that I'm not going to go super in depth on, but I just wanted to show you guys is down at this very bottom option where it says embed code. If you remember, we do have the ability to embed iframe within the agent websites that are through Moxie. So if someone wanted to embed this landing page onto their web page, all they would have to do is copy right here in this box, this whole thing, add in a iframe section in their website builder, and then pop it in there. It could go on a home page, a bio page, really anywhere, but this is a really good way to kind of embed that page and get more use out of it and get those leads. And again, anything that comes in through listings to leads is also going to translate into the Moxie Engage profile. So any leads that come in through an agent page are going to be both in listings to leads, but also in their Moxie profile so they can work with them from there. Alrighty, well, I think that that is all that I have for you guys today. I don't see any questions, but if anyone has any, feel free to type them in now or unmute and ask them. If not, this recording will be up on the Schmidt Video Classroom on YouTube shortly later today. And if you guys haven't checked out that Schmidt Video Classroom, you definitely should. There's lots of good, helpful videos on there regarding pretty much all kinds of topics. So if there is ever anything that you would like to see, either agent facing or admin facing, just let us know.